In my teens and early 20s, I watched a lot of anime, played a lot of video games, but was near constantly hanging out with friends. Lots of fast food, but I still had a savings account. I was able to work out 6 days per week, which isn't necessarily healthy, I know lol. Now on my 30s, I haven't been able to watch anime in years due to disinterest. I play one video game and only sometimes. I still hang out with a few close friends, but not nearly as often. I also developed an interest in philosophy and can't seem to ignore politics. I cook at home far more than I go out, and yet have a smaller savings account. I work out maybe 3 days per week now. The politics are super hard to ignore for pretty much everyone now, in my defense. Us. When I was a teen in early 20s, I didn't really fear death. I didn't have a good job, didn't have many real relationships. Now I'm 36, wife and 3 wonderful kids, a house and a job I love. Now I'm afraid of death because I have something to lose. Weekly basis, probably that I walk outside and imagine the sky flashing bright and instantly this whole thing coming to an end. I've never held out much hope that we avoid nuclear annihilation for long. We're just too stupid as a species. It's too easy to make dumb or cruel mistakes, etc. So yeah, I have things I love now and I don't want to lose them, though I don't hold out much hope that the lucky life I've gotten will last long. That's what's changed. I thought I was invincible. Worse, I thought my parents were. The reality of mortality is a significant change, at least in my perspective on life. I am far nicer to people in a genuine way. I think in my teenage years I was a people pleaser and naturally charismatic, so I confused people like being around me and enjoying my company as being nice. But rarely did I dig deep into my friendships, nor did I try to help out people unless they asked. Now, I feel my empathy is on 1004, no reason. I could be coming home on the train from a complete shit day. Boss's boss is pissing us off, screaming baby the whole way home, and yet still carry a suitcase up the stairs for an old person. Hell, I'll even shoot the shit and learn some crazy old lady lore. I just enjoy engaging with others far more than I used to, because I think I am no longer forced to. I can't skate like I used to. I feel a little more tired. But other than that, not much. Just general aging. I'm 35. But to be fair, I've always been active. But even I feel it lately. My ability to feel contentment. I have problems, for sure. My health isn't the best. The world is nightmarish, and I really wish I lived in a better neighborhood. But I am able to find contentment in a way that I wasn't prior to my 30s. A good meal, a relaxing day, a quality movie, a fun evening with friends. All of these things bring a general form of happiness that didn't exist back then. I am more secure with who I am. I know what I like and how to get it, and I am not worried about the judgment of others. I never felt this way as a teen. I was always looking to the future, and I never appreciated the now. Confidence, wisdom, strength, taller, intelligence, accomplishments, romantic relationships. Pretty much everything improved. I mean a teenager Yori, not in your fully developed form, maturity and physical wise. And if you work on yourself in our teens and 20s, you'll be great in your 30s. Eat healthy. Moderate alcohol, no hard drugs. Start working out and never stop. Didn't forget cardio. Education, career, and the rest will come. Water. Sleep. Sunscreen. Be kind to yourself and others. That's it. Easier said than done. Being in my early 30s, I've noticed which of my friends took care of themselves and which ones didn't. My friends who are a reasonably healthy diet and took moderate exercise are feeling fantastic into their 40s. My friends who ate like crap and barely move all feel like crap. A mystery is what it is. 31M. This question is impossible to answer, that it would be better to ask what hasn't changed. I feel 30 years old is a point where you realize how long of a life I still have, assuming you live a long life and past 70. Or better yet, how long it will take to get to 60. There's so much time. Also, I am feeling so much better starting college now than I would have straight out of high school or my 20s. That's really the big takeaway, that life is extremely long. Trying to remember my childhood or even high school reminds me how long ago it was and how long the next 30 years will be. 31. I think about my death a lot more. I finally do feel older, both mentally and unfortunately physically. Mentally, I'm not entertained with playing video games all day and socializing with a bunch of randoms on Call of Duty anymore. It took so much less to keep me entertained in my late teens and the first half of my 20s. I do feel a lot more confident in my decisions, and I can finally see my parents' point of view. Also, when you're 30, you have to start taking care of yourself. You have to face the fact you are past your prime and never will be young ever again. I'm depressed now, lol. Getting married vastly changed my life for the better. 1. Stopped doing dumb shit. 2. Financially stable now. 3. She helped me focus on my career. 4. Had kids, again, helped me from doing dumb stuff. 5. Marriage gave me the motivation to work harder towards retirement. 6. Did you get the part where I stopped doing dumb shit? I forgave my parents. Nobody is perfect. I realized that they were the age I am now when they had me. Thinking about raising a child and trying to navigate life, especially as immigrants, and adapting to the new culture. I used to dislike a lot of the things they did and complained about the way they are. They were growing too. They raised me and my siblings to the best of their ability with what they had. They tried their best. Now it's my turn to let go and teach my children better, and with what I know to the best of my abilities, and hope I didn't mess up too bad along the way. I know what's wrong with me, and I'm less socially inept, I guess. Also, I live with a guy, and we have a kid in a house. Didn't have that either. Also, my dad is dead, which is a big improvement. Have a smartphone too, and my own computer. And 2 cats. I wasn't allowed a cat back then. Free time basically stops existing once you have real responsibility. Finances, job, dependence, etc. I'm lucky to get 1 day to myself to actually do what I want. That's been the biggest for me. It's tough, but it comes down to priorities. The biggest lesson I learned is there isn't enough time to do what you want and what you need. Choose how you allocate your time wisely, cause before you know it, you'll be 40 and on your way out the door. Knowing what you really want can be tricky and take some serious personal reflection and investment. Muscle soreness lasts a lot longer. If I get a Charlie horse cramp in my leg at night, it will hurt for a few days now. Encounter a new set of stairs. Legs will be sore for a few days. Hangovers last longer. Not that I drank a lot in my teens, but I did a little at 18 and 19 and would never get hungover. Now, oh God, no. Anxiety is something I never knew existed and wish I never experienced. I really like the freedom of adulthood, though, even though it comes with a ton of responsibility. How much I cared what other people think about me. In my teens, I felt like I needed to be liked by everyone and that they had to have a positive opinion of me. Now in my 30s, I generally don't care. I want my loved ones and closest friends to have a positive opinion of me, but otherwise, I just tend to not care because, well, there is no way to have every single person think well of me. Got clean and sober, got diagnosed with several disabilities, but I am happier within myself. Like I might be whiter than I was as a teenager, and working on getting less wide is a challenge, but I like what I see more in myself, and in the mirror more than I ever did as a cynical, self-loathing teen. I have also accepted my autism and not tried to push through the symptoms or mask as much. I like what I like. I eat what I like. I am weird as hell, but that is just me, and I can't be bothered hiding it anymore. Way more responsibility, and I don't even have kids. I'd still be happy to do much of the same thing I enjoyed in my teen years with my friends. My core friend group is from my teens. They mean everything to me from a family perspective. Other than that, with enough years under your belt, you start to more clearly see people's behavior patterns. Nothing anyone does is really all that shocking, just inevitable. You'll find yourself far more apathetic to most things, as long as you don't need to be involved.